I'm Jeff Case, 9th District. I'm the president of the board of my church, the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Lafayette, one of many partner organizations with Move the Mindset. On behalf of my church and myself, I speak to support Move the Mindset, and I urge this council and the city and parish of Lafayette to stand up on the right side of history and move the Alfred Mouton statue from its current location on public land to a place of historical context. My family has roots here in Louisiana, going back before the Civil War, and several of my ancestors fought on the side of the Confederacy. I have a letter from one of them, George M. Dixon of Downsville, Louisiana, to his sister during the time of the war. From this letter, I think he was basically a good man. I honor his memory. That is my history. I believe the same about many others who were on the side of the South in the Civil War, that they were basically good people. But relating to slavery, they all were on the wrong side of this war and of history, including my ancestors. Every person ever alive has done good things and bad things, been in the right and been in the wrong. Most of them still deserve honor, but we must be honest about the good and the bad that was done. I personally believe that we actually disrespect our ancestors if we are not honest about the good and the bad, as we disrespect ourselves if we do not try to be honest about ourselves. That is history. Wars and the events leading up to them are complex. And in some wars, it's hard to say definitively who was right and who was wrong. But in other wars, it's clearer. Take World War II. Although most Germans are wonderful people with outstanding qualities, it is impossible not to say that Germany as a nation was in the wrong in most of their causes and actions in World War II. This does not make most of its citizens bad people individually in most ways. Sometimes some of the people may get brainwashed by their leaders. This does not take away the many good things in Germany's past history. Germany has since stood up and been honest about the bad and the good in their history. Likewise, in the Civil War, the Confederacy, with its cornerstone of slavery, was in the wrong in that cause. I'm going to be honest now about my history, our history, relating to slavery. I'm going to say the word we, since it was my ancestors. We were wrong. We, the Confederacy, were in the wrong. We, the Confederacy, were on the wrong side of history. The Lost Cause movement is also on the wrong side of history. Gaines M. Foster, professor of history at LSU, said, "The Lost Cause and the monuments that emerged from it sought to vindicate the Confederacy. The White South's memory of the war claimed that soldiers fought for the defense of their homes and families. The Lost Cause also proclaimed secession to be legal, denied the centrality of slavery to the war, ignored the evil inherent in it, and over time romanticized it. The monuments thereby celebrate not just the veterans, but the Confederacy, and, despite the attempt to deny it, its cause, slavery." The monument and the Lost Cause were as much about the present as the past, offered a vision of the proper social order, one in which the lower classes deferred to leaders, and African Americans remained subservient to whites. In the same decades in which most of the monuments went up, the White South created a repressive racial order based on segregation, disfranchisement, lynching, and other forms of white racial violence, end quote. That is what this statue represents. On behalf of my church, the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Lafayette, and myself, I urge this council and the city and parish of Lafayette to be honest about our history and the good and the bad of it, and to stand up on the right side of history and move the Alfred Mouton statue to a place of historical context. Thank you.